Today is a sad day. Today we have lost one of my dearest and best friends. I met him in 2016 and I can still remember the first time he held my hand and we danced. Eventually he let me beat his saber, which was of course the moment everything became really serious. I am of course talking about my Oculus Rift. My first generation Oculus Rift CV1 has today sadly passed. He has died of a useless and avoidable lack of replacement parts. Easy parts to replace, such as a mere cable which was enough to finally fell this brave warrior after all these years of loyal service. Now, a while ago I made another video about the lack of replacement parts for the Oculus Rift CV1. A lot of people have the same issue that I had, or still have, which is that the cable after many years of use starts to get all tangled and eventually breaks, which happens a lot with cables and all sorts of things such as headsets and like keyboards and mice, whatever, but especially with the Oculus Rift, because you're always just like turning around and messing around and eventually that thing's gonna coil up and break, which wouldn't be a problem because this part is really easy to replace. You can literally click it out of the Oculus, you can plug in another one, should be fixed, no problem. If it weren't for the fact that Oculus stopped selling those cables as soon as they launched the Quest and the second generation, like the Oculus Rift S. Now, Oculus stopped selling parts for the Oculus Rift CV1 a while ago, which in my opinion is pretty stupid because like a lot of people still have this headset and it works fine. Everything about it works fine. It's just that this cable is now broken, there's no connection anymore, and it just doesn't work. I now have a very fancy Oculus branded paperweight, which is absolutely useless. Now, there is a way to get a cable I explained in my previous video, which is like to buy a broken Oculus Rift, like a CV1, an older one that broke or something else, maybe someone dropped it or the screen cracked or something else went wrong, but the cable's still intact. You could maybe pick that up for cheap and then you could take the cable from that, put it into your headset and it will work again. Sadly, that proved to be a lot more difficult than I expected it to be, as one, there's not a lot of people with Rifts that broke on anything else than the cable, and then if you can find a Rift that actually has another defect. A lot of people have noticed that people are buying them just for the cable, so they're very, very expensive. Now, speaking of expensive, I also explained in the last video, you can still get these original cables from like sellers on eBay or Amazon, but where the cable originally from Oculus was like 50 or 80 bucks or something, buying it now would cost you more like 150 or 160, which honestly just, for me at least, isn't worth it. So maybe you can like shell out the money for that if you really love your Oculus Rift. But for me, it's just like, well, it's sort of over with that headset for now, which is a shame because I had a lot of fun with that headset and it was a very good and very comfortable headset, despite it being pretty old and the resolution of being blah, 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 blah. But right now I have another interesting opportunity, that is I also own an Oculus Quest and I recently purchased an Oculus Link cable. Not an official one because I thought that one was too expensive. I bought one of the ones that was branded on like a VR store as one that would work well with Link. So it's basically just a USB-C cable which is pretty long and has a USB 3.0 on one end, which should work perfectly for Oculus Link. So from now on I'll be recording all my videos with that setup, which I have set up behind me like over here, and I have tried it a bit so far. So far it works great, not many issues. I have one like disconnect problem, but that was solved by just restarting the Oculus Quest, which was easy enough. So yeah, I'll just be taking this opportunity to move on to a different type of hardware and see how that works for me. I have been making some mods to my Quest to make it a little bit more comfortable, but it still isn't the most comfortable headset, at least compared to my Oculus Rift CV1, which sadly rests in peace right now. It is a bit uncomfortable still, but I'll maybe get used to it, and maybe I'll eventually pick up an Oculus Quest 2 as well, which I've heard is lighter and has like the Elite strap, which should be a lot more comfortable, as long as it doesn't break. But yeah, so far it's going pretty well, and I hope that I can give you an extended use review in a bit when I've recorded some more videos with this setup and just generally played more VR games with this. So far I'm pretty happy about it, except for the comfort, but as I said, buying an Oculus Quest 2 might actually solve that problem, and you know, that thing's the future anyway, so that might just be something I have to do anyway. Now, if anyone's wondering why I'm wearing a hat, that is because I haven't had a haircut in 3 months for various reasons that are going on in the world right now that you are most likely aware of. But yes, that was a quick update video, and also just like me being a little bit salty that finally after all this time my trusty headset died, and these sensors that are in the edge of the frame right now will be completely useless, which of course is progress because it's nicer to not have any sensors, but you know, I bought a lot of stuff for this thing and now I have a paperweight, which sadly enough might happen to you as well if you still have CV1 and your cable is not looking too well. I suggest being very careful with that. Now, hope you enjoyed watching this little update. I hope you can we can all mourn together for my my lost CV1, and I hope you will take good care of yours if you still have one. And I'll see you guys in the next one.